Hey guys, I leave for the Toronto International Film Festival in just about 24 hours, and here are three underrated films that I think you should be checking out at the festival this year. So, number one, we have At the Place of Ghosts by Breton Hannum, who is a Two Spirit director that directed 2021's Wildhood, which was one of the most unexpected, delightful films of the festival that year for me. This year, it looks like the director is going to be focusing more on a bit of a mystery and spooky vibe with this film, but the cast looks great and I really trust their directing, so that's definitely one I'm going to be checking out. When I'm at the Toronto International Film Festival, I always try to check out at least one or maybe even two films that are by Canadian First Nations directors. TIFF is one of the best places to check out some underrepresented voices, specifically when it comes to Canada's Indigenous population. I always try to make sure I can support at least one of those films while I'm there. Okay, number two, we have The Voice of Hin Rajab by director Cather Benhana, who is a Oscar-nominated director for the documentary For Daughters from a couple of years ago. The film was great, so I cannot wait to see what she's going to do next. And this film follows first aid workers as they attempt to rescue a 6-year-old girl who is trapped under a car after a bombing in Gaza. So it's going to be a very heavy movie, but I really trust this director, and it's really interesting and important subject material, so can't wait to see this one as well. And finally, for my number three pick, I'm going to be seeing Dinner with Friends, which is by director Sacha Lee Henry. I believe this is this director's first movie. She is also Canadian. And this film is going to follow a group of about 8 friends in their 30s as they try to navigate still seeing their friends while balancing their adult lives, and also working out that tension that sometimes occurs in your late 20s and early 30s when some of your friends seem to be more put together in life than you might be. Very relatable. On this movie's TIFF page, where they give you a description of the film, this movie was compared to My Dinner with Andre and The Big Chill, which are two of my absolute favorite films from the 80s. I think that this director was probably inspired by a lot of the films she grew up watching. And this just sounds like a fun little time. I think there's going to be a lot of emotional moments, but I also think that script on this is going to be insane. I think we're going to get a lot of really grown-up adult conversations over a dinner table, and honestly, those movies are really hard to do well, but when they are done well, they're some of my absolute favorites. Alright, so those are 3 underrated films I'm seeing at the Toronto International Film Festival this year, and I always tell people to check out some of the underrated films that aren't necessarily getting a lot of buzz. I know Toronto can often turn into just a race for who's going to win the People's Choice Award, and that usually helps kick off award seasons proper. By the end of TIFF, we pretty much know what a lot of the Best Picture and Oscar contenders are going to start to look like. But don't forget, TIFF is about experiencing film and being with a film community and getting to interact with writers and directors in a way you won't be able to anywhere else. And that means checking out a lot of directors who are maybe on their first film, who aren't going to be getting nominated for an Oscar anytime soon. But who knows, 10 years down the road, maybe they'll be an acclaimed filmmaker, and you can say, hey, I saw their first film at the Toronto International Film Festival. And that's the thing that keeps me going back to TIFF every single year. I'm going to be posting a lot of what my time at TIFF is going to look like, so if you're interested to see what the festival looks like on the ground, definitely give me a follow because I'll be showing you all of that fun stuff.